This Monday Night Football clash you can't sleep on. Two high-octane offenses, question marks on defense, and a chance for legacy momentum. Ravens versus Lions. The bettors are circling, the analysts are sharpening their pencils. By the time I'm done, you'll know where we're laying money, where value lies, and what parts of this matchup have the sharp edges. This is Split Labs, where we transform raw data into fire picks. Let's get after it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Split Labs, your go-to spot for sharp analysis, real betting angles, and NFL best bets that make sense, not just noise. If you're new here, don't be shy. Hit that like button, subscribe, and if you like what you see in this video, check out splitlabs.net. Use code YouTube for 50% off your first month. Because every week I break down stats, injuries, betting splits, historicals, everything you need to decide your wagers with confidence, all from our site. This week's Monday Night Football matchup is a big one. Week 3 under the lights at M&T Bank Stadium. The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Detroit Lions. Both teams come in at 1-1, and the odds makers have Baltimore sitting as about a 5.5-point favorite. The total is set high, around 53.5, so sportsbooks are expecting fireworks. And history? It's all Ravens. Baltimore leads the all-time series 6-1. They're a perfect 4-0 at home against Detroit. The Lions haven't beaten the Ravens since 2005. That's a 20-year drought. And when you mix in a primetime Baltimore crowd, you know the psychological edge matters. Let's start with the Lions. Offensively, they've shown plenty of flash. Jared Goff is playing sharp early in the season, and last week against Chicago, the offense exploded. The passing attack has been efficient. Detroit is averaging about 267 yards per game through the air, which ranks top 5 in the NFL right now. That's been their bread and butter. The run game? More middle of the pack. They're around 15th in rushing yards per game. Serviceable, but not a strength. Defensively, that's where concerns creep in. The Lions have been giving up chunk plays, especially through the air, and their third down defense has been shaky. On top of that, injuries are starting to stack up. Alright, let's dive into the Split Labs numbers you need to know. These are the ones that actually move lines, and this is the edge you won't get anywhere else. Win probability. Our models have Baltimore with a 64% chance to win, Detroit at 36%. That's a clear lean toward the Ravens, but it's not a runaway. Detroit has upset potential if things break their way. Moneyline action. Check this out. Even though the Ravens are heavy favorites at minus 240, 86% of bets are on Baltimore to win outright. Only 14% of the tickets are on Detroit. But here's the kicker. The money isn't far behind. 85% of the money is also riding Baltimore. That's extreme public pressure on the favorite. And when you see lopsided splits like this, that's where value sometimes lives on the dog. Spread action. On the spread, it's actually much closer. 52% of bets are on Detroit plus 5.5, while 48% are on Baltimore minus 5.5. And the money? Almost dead even. 49% on Detroit, 51% on Baltimore. That tells you sharp bettors are split, and this line is right on the money. No one's giving up an edge here. Totals market. Now here's where it gets loud. The total is sitting at 53.5, and the public is hammering the over. 73% of bets are on the over. 74% of the money is on the over. That's overwhelming confidence in points. Only about a quarter of bets and money are backing the under. So this isn't just casual bettors chasing points. The money is aligned with the tickets. People expect a shootout. So to sum it up with the Split Labs data, the public loves Baltimore on the money line, the spread is balanced, and the over is getting blasted. That's where the market is, and now you know where the value might be hiding. All right, time out. Let me put you on game real quick. Split Labs just launched NFL Playbook, and if you're betting props this season, this is your cheat code. It takes everything you're seeing right now, the public splits, the sharp money, and dials it up to 100. You can search any player, filter by position or market, and instantly see how they've stacked up against their opponent. Passing yards, rush attempts, touchdowns, you name it, and even factors in weather and field conditions, so you're not betting blind on a windy 20-mile-per-hour Monday night game. It's literally your full game plan in one place. Every matchup, every edge, all in seconds. Hit the link in the description, use code YouTube for 50% off your first month, and stop guessing, start betting smart this NFL season. Alright, let's get back to the breakdown and cash these plays. Alright, let's lock in the best bets, and I'll show you how the Split Labs data lines up with the history in this matchup. Best bet, Ravens -5. Baltimore has dominated Detroit historically. 6 wins to just 1 loss all time, and the Lions have never won in Baltimore. Add in the primetime factor and Lamar's track record under the lights, and you've got every reason to back the Ravens at home. Now, here's where Split Labs data sharpens that take. On the spread, bets and money are almost perfectly split. 52% of tickets on Detroit, 48% on Baltimore, with the money basically 50-50. That tells us the books have this number dialed in, and it's not bloated with public money. When the spread isn't inflated and history points hard one way, that's where you lay it. Ravens -5 is our top play. Secondary play, lean the under 53.5. Here's why. The total is loaded with public money. 73% of bets and 74% of money are on the over. When the crowd is that one-sided, odds makers shade the line. Baltimore might slow this down with Derrick Henry, Detroit could try to grind the clock, and suddenly 53.5 looks inflated. The contrarian play here is the under. Alright, we've looked at the game as a whole. Now it's time to fire up the NFL Playbook. This is where we zoom in on individual player props, and honestly, this is where the Split Labs edge shines the most. If you're not already signed up at splitlabs.net, this is the part you're missing. Every projection, every matchup grade, every weather adjustment, it's all laid out for you before you place a single bet. Let's start with Jared Goff. His passing yards prop is set at 260.5. Our model projects him at 253.9 yards, which is actually 6 yards under the line. That gives us a lean to the under, but confidence is low, only about 2.5%. So it's not a hammer spot, it's more of a cautious fade. Now, here's why. Baltimore's defense may be banged up, but they're still dangerous. The Ravens were averaging 3.2 sacks per game last year, one of the better marks in the league. That kind of pressure on the quarterback can stall drives and force Goff into mistakes. The matchup grades show several tough defenders still in the mix, and 2 guys marked brutal in Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey. That's no joke. He's also walking into primetime on the road in one of the toughest stadiums in football. Let's close this out with David Montgomery. His rushing line is set at 36.5 yards. Our Split Labs model projects him at just 30.4 yards, giving us a strong underlean with nearly 17% confidence. That's the biggest player edge on the board tonight. And here's why it lines up perfectly with our game script. We're already leaning Ravens -5, which means if Baltimore controls this game like we expect, Detroit won't be running the ball much. Game flow points to Jared Goff throwing it 35 to 40 times to try and keep pace, not pounding Montgomery between the tackles. On top of that, Baltimore's defense is elite against the run, first in the league in rushing yards allowed. Even banged up, they've got Roquan Smith, John Jenkins, Brent Urban, all graded as tough matchups in the playbook. So to bring it all together, our game script is clear. We're backing the Ravens -5 to cover at home, and that script lines up perfectly with our final prop play.
This is the exact edge you get when you use the NFL Playbook on Split Labs. Full matchup grades, player prop projections, weather impacts, confidence scores, everything you need to bet smarter, not blind. If you're serious about taking your bets to the next level, head over to splitlabs.net and sign up today. Don't just follow the crowd, follow the data. Thanks for watching.
Good luck with your plays, and as always, welcome to the lab.